I'd like to introduce a woman that I am honored to call a friend, the founder and CEO of the Glass Ladder Group, a public speaker and a corporate diversity strategist, Sabrina Garba.
Hey, you guys, how are you doing tonight? I'm so excited to be here. I'd love to share a little bit of my personal story with you. When I arrived on my college campus, I was 16, in a relationship that had recently become long distance, and excited for all the possibilities. A few weeks later, it was my 17th birthday, and I remember being in bed crying all day. I mean, all damn day. And let's be clear, it wasn't because I was homesick, because I came from a little back-ass wood town called Boulder City, Nevada. All the shade. A few weeks later, I decided that I was gonna go buy a pregnancy test. And to be honest with you, I can't tell you why, because I didn't think I was pregnant. Actually, it's kind of weird because every time I thought I was pregnant, I wasn't, and every time I didn't, I was. Anybody else have that experience? I mean, for a little while there, I could have been the face of EPT or first response. But we'll talk about the anxiety later. I discovered that I was pregnant in my dorm bathroom. I was a mix between excited and weirdly calm about it because I always wanted to be a mother. That was my real response to, what do you want to do for a living? Or what do you want to be? Yep, that was it. And I went to the clinic at my college the next day, and when the doctor came and confirmed that I was pregnant, my mixed emotions led into this huge Kool-Aid smile. And for a moment, I had peace, just one. And she looked at me and she said, "What are you smiling about?" And everything in me hit the ground. I left there and I cried all the way home, remembering the disapproval on her face. But you know what? I knew what I wanted to do. So I called up my boyfriend, who was ecstatic. I mean, more excited than any 19-year-old has ever been about his teenage pregnant girlfriend. I can tell you that. Okay. And he said, "I'm so excited, baby. We're gonna plan for you to come home, and I can't wait for us to start our lives together." Now, this talk is not about my relationship with him, but I have to clear up a few things. He was abusive, emotionally, verbally, mentally, and eventually physically. Me going to college and going away to college was a huge battle for us. And a little bit before I left, my birth control went missing. And tea time started. So tea time is our cute little ritual where we would get together and we would cuddle and we would drink tea and talk about all the things we wanted to do together. What I know now is that tea was mixed with vitamins to increase my fertility. So when I got off the phone with him, I was full of excitement because he was excited. So, the emotional roller coaster. Are y'all on this emotional roller coaster with me yet? Okay. And I decided that everything was gonna be okay. It was all gonna be taken care of. So I called my Muslim-raised Nigerian father to tell him that his daughter was leaving the illustrious Howard University. Okay? To be somebody's baby mama. His response was, "No, you are not. He's trying to trap you. You're not coming home, and you're not having his child." So for 1 out of 2 times in my whole life, my parents agreed on something. And I took a bus to meet my mother in New York where she lived, where we went for me to have an abortion. I still remember to this day, it's crazy because there's some things you remember in your memories and some pieces that just fade away. But for some reason, I remember going to the ATM to pull out the money that my dad had put in my account for me to have an abortion. A man who never felt super conservative to me, but would never give me money to have an abortion, okay? And I realized in that moment that he was serious. And quite frankly, he was always also right. My emotions were so mixed and all over the place. I was sad and happy because I knew that I got to keep my new life on this amazing college campus. My boyfriend, he didn't fare so well. He was devastated, and the abuse escalated. The late night phone calls and long voicemails naming me selfish and a murderer ensued. I broke up with him about a month after I had my abortion. And about a year later, when the 2 a.m. calls hadn't stopped, I finally changed my phone number. Now, I stand here before you today fearless, proud, and grateful for my abortion. But I suffered immensely in that time. I was young, younger than most of my classmates, away from home, reaming from the aftermath of abuse and the feelings that come with abortion. I'll never forget one day I was walking on campus and I'd never seen anything like this, but there were demonstrators on campus with these mega posters of fetuses in a jar. And I wept all the way home because I knew that they were talking to me. And that was hard. The guilt was hard. The grief was hard. And then also still having to pee every 10 seconds, even though I didn't bring a child to term, was fucking annoying. But there were 3 things in particular that made my experience unbearable at times. 1, I questioned whether or not it was my choice at all. Did I choose to get pregnant? Did I make the decision to have abortion? Or did I just let my parents do it for me? 2, by the age of 17, I was already committed to motherhood and wifedom because the patriarchy fucks us up. Can I hear amen? So I'm sitting here as a 17-year-old girl thinking, did I just slap who I'm supposed to be in the face? Did I miss out on my purpose? Lord have mercy. And 3rd, there was no one to talk to. No one to just hold space for me. Even though, or just say like, been there. Even though 1 out of 3 women in America have had an abortion. Where were y'all at for me? And so I decided that I was gonna shout it from the rooftops. And I was gonna tell every fucking one who would listen. And let's be clear, I chose to say it at a conservative, historically black college and university. I wrote speeches for class. They were like, why is this girl doing this to us? I spoke at programs, I started my own programs, and then I became the voice of a national campaign on ending violence against women. I even got to host the recent Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Dennis Mukwege, which I'm so proud about for the city of Joy-Toy. And that work led to my success. That work led to me working for the first female press secretary of our country, okay? So when I asked myself, was decision mine? In time I realized it was always mine, and it was the best one that I've made in my entire life. Second, I also realized that that child that was living within me led me to my purpose to speak, to listen, and to connect with others. And last, it's given me the courage to create space for all of you. My experience is my experience. Some women won't make the choice that I make. Some women won't feel the way I feel. But that is the beauty of individuality and, more importantly, choice. When I was in high school, foreshadowing, I wrote a paper about abortion for my English class. Lord, I had no clue. My teacher, a middle-aged Mormon woman, took delight in marking it up, right? In addition to the fact that she didn't like me, she also stated that I stated the opposing perspectives as pro-choice and anti-choice. For her, this was a logical fallacy. Any English teachers in the house would say the same thing? Maybe. For me, it was common sense, and it still is. Aspen Baker, the founder of Exhale, calls for us to be pro-voice, leaning attention to the impact that storytelling and listening has on our ability to address difficult topics like abortion. That's why I'm here today. I'm here because I want you to feel supported in your choice and the story you have to tell. Storytelling has become my life. Helping people to understand different perspectives from their own is what makes me tick. I became an entrepreneur because of it. I've spoken to world leaders because of it. And I've also had the ability to position myself as a thought leader because of that. And it all started with my story of abortion. And I am so grateful for the choice that I made and the voice that it's given me. And I hope that you all are able to find yours through my story as well. Thank you.